Hello folks, how is everyone? Welcome to another Stout Sunday. I hope you are doing well. You know you're my people. Love you. Always want you to be the big three, my friends. I want you healthy, I want you happy, and I want you safe. You know what I want from me? Like, share, remind, thumbs up, thumbs down, leave a comment, kick it around, blibbity, blubbity, blubbity. Also, I need to put a buy me a beer thing on here. You know how everybody does buy me a coffee? I need somebody to do buy me a beer. Things getting a little tight around the household. We're not going to discuss that, but trust me, things get a little tight these days. Anyway, today we're going to take a look at the 2025 Kirkland Vintage Ale Bourbon Barrel Aged Imperial Stout from Deschutes. You know, Deschutes makes some fine products, and we have big hopes on this. Now, apparently, this is based off their Abyss series. This one is aged for 9 months in various bourbon barrels, where the Abyss is aged in bourbon, Pinot Noir, and whiskey, brandy, another one. So a slightly different spin on it, but okay. So she's running 12% for the ABV. They don't give us an IBU. Jaws today. Nor do they give us an SRM, but that's what we're here for. So let's see what we got. Holy crap, you can smell it from here. Let's see what we got going on. Let's get my big fat fingers out of the way. Yes, we did break out Luigi. That is a pretty coffee colored head though. Well, the camera's picking it up. She cascades very nicely. Let's grab the lights outside. Hold on. I'm not going anywhere, fruit bat. It's raining out. That's why we're shooting in the kitchen. Yes, it's raining out. I opened the door and the dog is like, let's go outside. Forgetting that she's incredibly hydrophobic. All right. Before we do that, let's give you a look at the head. Pretty head, nice and creamy, smooth. Now, I did the black and tan video with Agave Ed this week. Holy crap. This is on low. There's medium. There's high. And that's turbo. Turbo. Low, medium, high. Turbo. Look at how rich and deep plum that color is. That is a dark beer, my friends. It's got to be a 99, right? Because unless no light penetrated through, then she would be 100%. So 99 is what the SRM we're going to give this beer is. I did the black and tan with Agave Ed with the Obsidian Stout. So we actually broke out a bottle of this, but by the time we got to shooting that, it's not going to see the light of day. It wasn't pretty. So the head has come down. Still really nice effervescence in there. Biding time. Let's put that sniffer in there. Really rich. Right off the nose, it's really rich. And there's a fair amount of bourbon in there. I thought it was going to be boozier. Some sweet notes in there like a vanilla or a toffee. Now, to be fair, this beer is cold. I just pulled it out of the fridge. So she hasn't opened up yet. Anything this dark, I mean, I'm expecting chocolate, coffee, burnt pretzel, burnt cracker, something along those lines. Let's see what we got for a temp. $47. So while normally they would say that's right in the sweet spot between 44 and 48, they would be incorrect, my friends. As we know, not every beer is meant to be drunk at the same temperature. It was actually Ed who commented that when we were doing the black and tan reviews, the tools, he said, I like it better when you do the temperature even though it's completely unnecessary. Well, I don't think it's unnecessary. I want you to know what temperature you should be drinking your beer at. Let's slip of the tongue, see what we got going on. It's a really nice mouthfeel. Soft palate, intradentals, all the way back, slow and smooth and rich, creamy, boozy. Bitter like dark chocolate. A little burnt. Not surprised. But interesting nonetheless. Definitely boozy though. Yeah. Okay, so she is every bit of 12%, and I'm gonna tell you that bourbon in there is definitely a kick in the pants, man. If you like bourbon, then you're probably gonna like this. But you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna let this warm up because I really wanted to open up, blossom, show us everything it's got, because it's not showing me, it's not even showing me the notes I got off the nose, which I know are buried in here. So we started at 47, let's check back at 53, and we'll go to 59, 65, if we make it that far. And then we're gonna take the rest of this, and we're gonna do a black and tan with that, with the Deschutes Lager. That'll be another video. Probably be our drink along this week, but we'll find out. Best laid plans and all. So we'll be right back. Hang in there, my friends. Alrighty, we are back. I was busy flapping my gums, and our beverage has moved up to 56. So we're up 9 instead of 6 degrees. I don't think that's going to hurt us too much in the long run, but I do apologize if you were expecting a 6-degree shift. Shit happens, and life is what happens when you're busy making other plans. Let's get that sniffer in there because it's biding time and see what's going on. Okay, nose is shifted a little. Definitely more into the vanilla, less toffee. Definitely boozy on the back end. Again, I'm not picking up the chocolate or the pretzel or the cracker or anything from the roasted malts, really. Just the bourbon and that vanilla note in there. Slip of the tongue. Again, same nice, really, really nice mouthfeel. Coats everything. Real smooth and languid. Silky. So the, again, tongue's not doing jack for this. it's when she gets into the back of the throat, you start to get that, and she's moved away from burnt dark chocolate into more of a dark chocolate bitterness now. I mean, she is dirty, dirty, dirty. Really tasty. And you know what? Not nearly as boozy at this temperature. I'm kind of surprised. So far, so good. I like this beer. I know you say, but dude, you like all the beers. That's not true. There's some beers I don't like. That's why we don't do them on the channel, though. All right, so, you say 56. Ruby Wildman, give it 10 more, push it up to 66, and see what she's like at that temperature. Because again, this beer's like a 99, man. This is a dark, almost black. This would be what like Cthulhu's blood color would be. I mean, it's so dark, it's not even ruby, it's plum. So, yeah, let's be Wildman. We'll push it out another 8, 9, 10 degrees. See what we got there, and I get the feeling we're going to top out there. But you never know. Be right back. You know what? While we're letting her warm, squizzy. On the first break, I pulled up notes. We might as well read them while we let this come up. Kirkland's Signature Vintage Ale is a bourbon barrel-aged imperial stout brewed by Deschutes Brewery in Bend, Oregon as part of Costco's annual Vintage Ale series. I didn't know they did that until this year. The beer is aged for 9 months in a mix of bourbon barrels, resulting in a robust imperial stout with notes of dark chocolate. Got that. Roasted coffee. Thank God we didn't get that. And bourbon. And we're not getting as much bourbon as I thought we were going to. It's an ABV of 12% and is available in a 22-ounce bottle. The beer pours a thick, jet black color with a creamy tan head and features a nose of dark roast and boozy bourbon. I didn't really get overrun by the dark roast. I told you it was more vanilla and toffee than anything else. The palate is full-bodied, smooth, and rich with flavors of vanilla, toffee, toast. Again, I would have said more like cracker or burnt pretzel was what I was expecting. I don't know what color these people eat their toast at, but everybody knows that if it's more than tan, you're a savage. And a well-balanced sweetness that is not overwhelming. No, it's really not. The finish is short with a final flicker of caramel and sweet earth aftertaste. Okay. We haven't gotten there yet. That's why we're letting her warm up. The 2025 vintage has received positive feedback, with one reviewer giving it a 7 out of 10. Great, well above average. When are you going to listen to that jackanapes? Another review, blah, blah, blah. Thick mouthfeel, smooth, rich profile. Yes. The beer is priced at 7.99 zinc copper clad discontinued denominations with a dead president on them. Get that from Mike at Mr. Guns and Gear, who can't give prices on his channel anymore. Always makes me laugh. He just calls them units, though. Even Mike's a good guy, though. You should watch his stuff. It's excellent. Making it a valuable proposition for a barrel-aged imperial stout. That is the truth, dude. There are some over at the Quiff Beer Quick Hop Stop, Flippity Flop, whatever the hell it's called. They're at $32 and $35 a bottle, which I can't afford. That's why I said I'm going to buy me a coffee, although we should cross out coffee and beer on it. If you guys donate, I will drink those for sure. It is brewed by Deschutes Brewery, known for its high-quality craft beers, including the popular Abyss Imperial Stout, which is also a bourbon barrel-aged Imperial Stout. It's not the same, though. And again, I told you there's like Pinot barrels and I think brandy barrels along with the bourbon barrels to make it slightly different. Hello, machine. So the back of the box, which I threw away because I've had this thing for like 3 months now. Aged for 9 months in a mix of bourbon barrels, this robust imperial stout was meticulously crafted by Deschutes Brewery in Bend, Oregon, with notes of dark chocolate and roasted coffee. Again, thank you for not showing up, Mr. Coffee. The good folks at Untapped gave it a 3.87 combined average. And there's nothing worthwhile on that page. So, as I always say, drink what you want to drink. Drink how you like to drink. I just try and give you what I think is helpful. But I'm not going to tell you how to drink your beer. You drink your beer the way you like to drink your beer. If you like to drink race car beer, drink race car beer. What the hell do I care? I'm just trying to tell you that stuff is toxic. It'll kill you. Okay, we're not going to play music, although that's Love My Way by the Psychedelic Furs, which is a great song. I'm going to get a temp check real quick, but we're probably going to pause. $59. So we're going to pause, and we'll be back in another 7 clicks of the thermometer. 66, right? 65, 66, somewhere around there. And see what she's got. So, see you in a minute. There's nothing here for you to eat. Go. Get. Dogs are mean to me. Constantly up my butt saying, feed me, daddy, I'm hungry, feed me. 65. Actually, 64.9. We're going to call it 65 because we're going to move things along. Because apparently my dogs, even though I fed them, have decided they need treats. Biding time. Let's get a sniffer in there. So that vanilla toffee has burnt off now. Now we're getting a real sticky sweet nose. And there's bourbon on the back end, so think like bourbon candy. But again, no coffee, which is a godsend. And while we're getting the dark chocolate bitterness on the back end, we're not getting it here in the nose, so slip of the tongue. Oh my God. Oh yeah. So, okay. Super bitter right off the bat. And yeah, the bourbon's woke up. The bourbon is the majority flavor right now at this temperature. Not necessarily a bad thing, especially if you like bourbon. Mouthfeel has actually gone from full, and she never leaked out into the extras, never out into the buccals or the sublinguals or the lowers, none of that. Literally stayed between the teeth and the soft palate, wrote it right back, very smooth, very silky, but very slow. And now she is sped up, so she's in that medium fast territory. Chalking out the teeth now too. On that back end, there's about 4 or 5 seconds now. I'm getting the bready note, like a really, really dark pumpernickel. And that sweetness transferred over. So it's a very, very odd shift from the bitterness on the back end, when she's colder. The bitterness doesn't present until she hits your throat, to the bitterness in the bourbon hitting you right up front. And then that shift in the flavor profile, where on the back end, now it's not as bitter. I'm getting the bready notes. It's a really, really interesting beer. Well crafted, really, really good looking beer. I mean, again, there are politicians' souls that are probably as black as this. Maybe they go a full 100, but it is a 99. Yeah, no, all around, just really, really good. So, would I buy it again? Sure. Drink it again? Oh yeah, dude, this will be around the fire pit this winter for sure, especially at the price point. Tried on tap, love to. Handed this to me out of the cooler. I'd ask you why it was in a cooler. But we're going into the season where a beer like this just sits on the table outside, because depending on where you are, of course, I might put it in a warmer before I took it outside. Definitely not sticking this in a snow pile and then digging it out to drink afterwards. We used to do that with schnapps and stuff when I was a kid, and back east we go sledding. And just stick the beer and the schnapps and stuff in just the snow and pull it out and drink it ice cold. But I live in Phoenix and it's raining, which is where we're shooting inside. We don't do cold anymore. I'm old, man. Yeah, no, good for the style. Excellent for the style. Interesting flavor profile. Oof, God, those temperature shifts are everything that makes it so much more interesting than just the flavor profile. And the flavor profile is fine. We didn't get the coffee, thank you. We did get the dark chocolate, and again, initially it was bitter, burnt dark chocolate, and then that just softened up into dark chocolate, and then all the way at the far end of the temperature scale, the back end, it became like a really nice, rich pumpernickel. Call them like I see them. As always, drink what you like, how you like. That's on you. I just throw these out there to help. So yeah, just 12%, and I think this is probably one of the darkest beers you've ever taken a look at. Craftsmanship is solid, price point is solid, flavor profile is solid, mouthfeel is really, really nice. Although again, it was an odd shift in the mouthfeel too, but not to be too unexpected because viscosity drops as the temperature warms. I would say that this is a 5. I like this beer a lot, and there will be more of them this winter for sure. No, really, really good solid beer. Easy 5. Okay, thanks for coming by. Put some eyeballs on. You know you're my people. Love you. Big 3, my friends. Happy, healthy, safe, honorable, dutiful, vigilant, gray man, head of swivel, hot and handy. Hot and handy comes with its own laundry list of responsibilities that you are responsible for being responsible for. That being said, I will catch you on the next one. Skol. The boozy and the bitter. Woo! All right, we're going to shoot the short, so I've got a temp on the short, but I don't know how much warmer it's going to be. Adios.